So from my heart, welcome to your practice. It's an honor to guide your practice, and it's an honor to honor your practice and the work you do in just showing up for yourself, carving out the time, getting on your mat, getting the Zoom ready or whatever it is, however you're entering this class right now. That is just showing up. You have shown up for yourself. So already, huge sense of accomplishment in just doing that. All right, so into that, let's just get right in. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. As you inhale, grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, bow your chin, close your eyes. Start to tune in to the flow of your breath. You can soften through your neck muscles, your shoulder muscles, without losing the length in your spine. Sitting up tall, but letting the shoulders drop into that. Soften your eyes. And bring the awareness, the deep, deep attention awareness through your eyes, through your third eye. Settle all of that, heart's gonna sneeze, into the space between your hands. Really focus on the space between your hands, as deep as you can. If you're so curious, what's happening there? And you might feel a pulse. You might feel a transfer of heat, energy. Just for a few more breaths, just really focus on this place with every ounce of your interest and your focus. And noticing where the hands are really being pressed into and where maybe you're not putting in as much pressure. It's the most interesting thing you've observed today. Resting your focus, a little bit softening this, and from this place we'll open practice and chant Om together 3 times. Inhale and grow tall, and then exhale this breath completely. Inhale fully to begin. Release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, friends, so we're going to start sitting, but I want to give you a chance for a downward dog, or it could be just, if you're like, Joe, I'm exhausted, you can lie on your back and just stretch your arms over your head, stretch your legs. And the other option is to come to the wall and do a little wall stretch, and that's what I'm going to do. And just so I can talk you through that. Otherwise, downward facing dog, land on your back, or just come to stand a little bit away from your wall. And place your hands on the wall, shoulder height. Spread your fingers, and then step your feet back, maybe just a little bit, just so you can take your hips over your heels and press the hands into the wall. And maybe the belly comes in, the thighs move back. Ears are in line with your Arms, this is the same principle in downward dog. And if you're at the wall, feel your feet anchor into the floor. Like they almost want to push down and away. And the same thing in down dog. And then anchor the hands down and forward. Press the hips back, thighs back. Okay, and then if you're in downward facing dog, you can come to child's pose. And if you're at the wall, just step yourself forward. Rest your forehead at the wall on your hands. And if you're flat on your back, just hug your knees into your chest. So do whatever feels good here just to kind of release. Okay. So we're just going to move between these two places. And maybe you're going to hold each pose for 5 breaths. And it might be 10 breaths. So really yogi's choice. You just, as you're ready, take your time here in your rest. And you might just stay in rest. But when you're ready, you'll move back into whatever pose you were doing. If you want to try something different, that's fine too. And we're just going to try and be in that pose for 5 very relaxed breaths. And if you want to make it 10 breaths, that's beautiful too. Just be very present to this body opening and releasing its day. And your breath just guiding your presence here. So you're connected to this pose. Whatever pose it is, explore it, make it more comfortable, less comfortable, more effective. Okay, and then I'm just going to come out from here, but you take your time and then you'll come to your rest. And it's the same things, 5 breaths, maybe 10. If you really want 15, that's fine too. And we'll just do one more round. So. I'm moving into my 3rd round. I'm just going to do regular downward dog this time. 5, 10 breaths. Being very present, making movements, exploring. And then taking your time, but maybe now you're moving into your final rest, taking shape, whatever it is. And again, dropping in, 5 breaths, 10 breaths. And we'll sweeten seated. Whatever you get here, take your time. Just pause here. Take a few moments for seated meditation. Just being quiet and still. Whenever you arrive in your seated posture, you need to sit on something, place it there. And then just sit with your breath. Nice, easy inhale. Right to the top. And then a nice, easy exhale. Feel yourself empty completely. Notice if you're breathing through the mouth, through the nose, just notice what you're doing. See if you can bring both inhale and exhale to come in and out through the nose. And bring the index finger and the thumb pad to lightly touch. And then soften your gaze, your third eye, everything. And just bring all of that awareness to your hands, however they are resting. Just feel what you feel in your palms and in your hands, maybe in the touch of the two fingers, the thumb and the index finger touching. Now guiding your inner gaze, your awareness, to the crown of your head. You might even feel your eyes lift up physically in your skull. Just taking your awareness, imagining you could see right above your head. Nice easy breaths in and out through the nose. Just do 2 more rounds of breath. And as you finish your second exhalation, just releasing the mudra in your hands. Turn your palms to face down and gently open your eyes. And maybe they just open halfway. If you want to keep them closed, that's fine too. And from here, just inhale as you are. As you exhale, take your right shoulder over towards your left knee and even let your right hand turn. So it stays connected to your thigh, but maybe the fingers turn to point toward the hip. And then turn your head to the left. And lower yourself down. Press the right hand down and away as if you're pushing that right thigh away from you. So your hand is on the inside or the top of your right thigh. Okay. And then come up, turn your hand so you're back in your center. Now as you exhale, take the left shoulder over towards the right knee. Let the left hand turn, so the fingers turn, the wrist turns, the shoulder turns, your wing opens. And then as you can lower yourself towards the right knee, let that left hand push the left thigh away from you. So you sneak your hand to the inside of your thigh. And then the head can turn more to the right. And then come up and exhale over to the first side. So find that, turn your hand, turn your head, towards the left. Find this place where you can gently press this right thigh away, even drop the right hip a little bit. And then come up and exhale over to the second side. Okay, so we're just going to do this a few times. So you can go a little faster if you like. Close your eyes. Thank you. So moving yourself side to side and feeling the shoulder open, the back of the shoulder, back of your upper back. Good. Okay. And we'll end off over onto the left side. And then we'll come up to center. And we're going to sit for a moment. I'm going to change the cross of the legs. Okay. And then once you're here, taking a few breaths, just start to roll your shoulders. Let your jaw hang loose. So you're not putting any tension in the neck. Just rolling the shoulders, however you're doing this is great. And you feel your breath matching this movement in some way. And then we'll reverse and just start to roll the shoulders in the opposite direction. Okay. And then we just going one direction, one going the other direction. So just do your best. See how that works. Find it easiest if I take them both up at the same time. Good. And then reverse. Just do that in the opposite direction. Keep the jaw soft. Okay. And then we'll just go up and down. And you'll take the shoulders forward and back as you do this. So you're just almost like you're scrubbing this whole area. Okay. And then you can just shake them out, move them, and then turn your palms to face up and just pause as you start to let your head hang. Keep the spine engaged. Let your jaw hang, your head hang. Okay. And then from here, I'm just going to start to roll the neck a little bit. So your hands can stay as they are. If you're better with your hands on the floor, put them on the floor. And then we'll start with this little half move. So the chin moves over maybe to the right shoulder, and then it drops down and moves to the left. So this is very safe if you have neck stuff. If you're okay, we'll start to take it into a full circle, but just go very slow. Let your jaw be loose. Again, we don't want to invite in extra tension. Stay with your breath. And if you start to feel dizzy, then just pause and open your eyes. But if you're good, then making sure you reverse direction at some point as well. So if you're doing the full circle, you'll just make sure you rotate in both directions. Listen to all the sounds, the pops, the cracks, all of those things that are gurgling, whatever else you're hearing. And then just end with the head hanging down and the jaw very loose. We'll just take a few breaths here. We're just going to stave off the dizziness. I'm going to take this to a forward fold. So I'm still in my opposite cross of the legs. Change your legs as you need to. And then just walk your hands forward, find the floor, and melt into a version of forward fold here. So maybe the hands go really wide or the forearms come to the floor and the head can just hang. However you are in this place, it should feel very relaxing, deeply relaxing. Just breathing here. Okay, so just melting through your jaw, your shoulders, your low back. Okay. You take this to a rocking of the head, the chest, side to side. So you might come back up on your hands and just start to sway. You can keep your head hanging and just rocking side to side, but in a way that you feel, oh, I'm kind of opening my side. So as you lean to one side, the top shoulder just draws up, like maybe towards the ear. So you get a stretch through the side body. Just let the hand, the arm move as it likes. So we'll stay with this. But if you'd like to take that opposite hand off the floor, just reach over and around. And then go ahead and do that. And then you'll just place the hand on the floor and do the same with the opposite. So let's take it up and over, around. Good. Okay. We'll just do a few more like that, just feeling in. You know, again, I'm just going to say it if you need to sit on something or adjust your legs. Do that. Start to savor this opening. Everything be free. Everything be with the breath. Yeah. So nice. Let's just do a few more. So it becomes almost maybe like a trance dance. You're just like doing this movement and not even really aware of it. But it's doing so much. Okay. Just moving to maybe the last rotation on each side. And then yogi's choice, if you want to just sit up, legs however you like, or take a forward fold. It's all fine. Just rest in your stillness. Okay, I'm going to change the cross of the legs again. And this time I'm going to go a little deeper. And so this is, again, yogi's choice. You could just be cross-legged, but if it works to kind of take, and this is easier if you sit on something too. So I have one knee over the other. Let's say I have my left leg. I'm going to say I have the right leg on the bottom, left leg on the top. If you sit on something, it might be easier. And if this is no good to be sitting like this, then just sit cross-legged. Okay, we're just going to take twists. So I'm just opening the hips here as I do this. Okay, so I'm just going to pause, trust. You're in a good space, in a good place. Okay, so I'm going to start to twist towards the right. So the right hand comes down to the floor, the left hand comes over. Maybe it grabs the outside of the knee. Or depending how you're sitting, might be different. Just find your twist. Okay. And then once you're in your twist, just bring your head back so it's in line with your heart. And then drop into this. If sitting like this is too much, unfurl. Just drop your shoulders, your jaw. And just take 2 more breaths, just very consciously dropping. And then this next exhalation, exhale completely and pause in the exhale. Now turn your head and your chest a little more to the right. Then continue breathing. Just feeling if the exhalation offers you a little more without really forcing, just finding. And just take a few more breaths. Close your eyes. Okay, if you've chosen this very crunchy pretzel and it's a little uncomfortable, where can you soften? How can you find a little bit more comfort here? Knowing it's not forever. Okay, on your exhalation, turn your head all the way to the left. Okay, and take your hands either side, release your legs. And if whatever you were in, if you were in that cross, you might want to do this. You might even take your hands and give it a little jiggle. A little massage. Okay, and then second side. So you might change the cross of your legs or take this cross, whatever, any form, just tightening it up, whatever form. And then be in your place, sit on something, make it okay. You can smile. Okay. Left hand behind and right hand comes over, wherever it's going to go. You start to turn and then just find your twist. Okay, now stay in your shape, but bring the head to line up with the heart. And then use this as an invitation to drop in more deeply, by softening the shoulders, the jaw, even the hips, your seat. Nice, easy inhale and full exhale. And at the bottom of that exhale, pause. Now turn the head and the heart. And then in. Just working the twists as little bit as you can. Finding space. And finding softness. Softening any place of restriction. And you go, oh, I can't really breathe into the side ribs here. What if I soften them? Oh, then I get more breath. Then I'm going to make it more challenging for myself and find it again. Where can I soften? Where can I deepen? moving into your final full breath in and full breath out. And then you'll inhale. And as you exhale, unwind head all the way. Sorry, I forgot. Turn your head first to the right. And then unwind your hands. Unfurl your legs. And feel free to move them around a little bit. Okay. Good. So we're going to come to lie down. Oh, let's do our feet first. So grab your socks. And just take a minute for some loving self-care. Just massage our little feet. Good. Starting with one foot. Good. Just working in between the toes. Make sure you just pay attention to all the parts. The spaces in between the toes, the tops of the toes, the backs of the toes, the sides of the toes, and the balls of the feet, the arch of the foot. And sometimes it's nice to kind of really get in there. And sometimes it's nice just to be nice. The arch of the foot, the heel, all of that. So let's give another few moments on this foot. Okay, I'm just going to give her a good little twist and a little rub. Okay. Sock her up and move over to the next one. So yes, I sit here with Heart and we do this, and we're all doing this together. And I think in all the years we've been together, I've never seen him just rub oil on your feet for no, like unless we're doing something like this.
Yeah.
Like just like, I should massage my feet. So yeah. I love that. So maybe if you were in the same category where you probably wouldn't do that, then that is great. He does my feet, yes.
So that's really important.
Yes, that is really important. Nice. Okay. Good. Focus on your foot. Just give it another few moments. Just working whatever you are experiencing. Sending your love energy. Good. Okay, and then give it a little rub and a little twist. Good. And sock her up. Okay. Yes. All right, friends. So now we're all snuggly, and we're going to come to lie down. And I want you to take either your bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you'll use like a folded blanket. And we'll start with the bolster. I'm going to say like, you might need a blanket for your head too. I'll say that. I'm going to put I want the bolster to lift up underneath the ribs to the hip bones. So if I put it behind me and I come to lie down, that's going to happen. So I can feel my ribs are here, my hips are here. Then you might want a blanket underneath your head. And you might also want to bend your knees or put another blanket under your hips. Or maybe this is too much. Then you'll just take your blanket and just roll it up into a little sausage. And I'm just going to show that super quick just in case anyone's like, how do I do that? You open your blanket and then it would make like a little roll. You don't have to make it super tight. You'll make it a loose roll. And then you won't have such a big lift. So whatever works, just set yourself up so you feel your bottom ribs and your hip bones are just coming apart. And you can get this nice breath into this opening. Okay. But then make yourself very comfortable as well. So once you've set yourself up, I always say it takes like maybe the first minute or two for the body to go okay. So if you feel you need a blanket under your head, blanket under your hips, put it there. But then also be open to the fact that maybe after a minute or 5 of being here, the body's going to open and you might be able to change your crabs. Okay. Good. Nice. I'm just taking that time to feel what this is. Okay. So if you're good, you want to go a little bit deeper, then you start by stretching out the legs, and maybe the arms will come over the head as well. But if that's too stretchy, you'll just work it in stages. So bring your arms back, and then maybe after some time you'll feel ready, and you'll take your arms over. Okay. So as you rest here, do your best to focus on the flow of your breath. And the flow of your breath in this shape. Feeling into the rising and the falling of the body and the breath. Bringing your awareness there through your closed eyes, your third eye, just as we did at the beginning of class, and you focus your awareness on your hands. Take that same deep focus to how your body is breathing. Notice if you've taken on any tension in your forehead, your jaw. At the same time as you are focusing on your breath, you're also going to be mindful of where you're bringing in tension. If you're still okay on the bolster, if you had enough of this, you'll just lift your hip, bend your knees, lift your hips, take the bolster out. But if you're okay, keep the bolster. And if you're taking out the bolster, just come to lie down. Set yourself up again. And then we'll just turn the head. So we'll stay here. You'll exhale completely. And then turn your head to the right before you begin your next inhale. And as you turn your head to the right, just take the back of the head a little more to the left. Find a little bit of space in the neck, front of the throat. And notice if just by bringing your head over to one side, if that changes the weight and how the body's resting. Bringing your head back to center. Just feeling in. And then we'll do the same thing. So you'll exhale completely and pause there, turn the head to the left. Then adjust your head. So the back of the head moves to the right, a little bit of more space in the front of the throat. And then just breathing here. If you've been hunched over a computer today or sitting, not mindfully or whatever, anything, that forward folding, forward hunching posture We all do, cooking. You're in that forward posture all the time. You just feel this nice opening. And then bringing your head back to center. If your legs are straight, just bend them now. And we'll just take a few moments here. You might even press into the feet, lift your hips. Just kind of maybe keep the hips lifting and rock the knees a little bit. Good. And then we'll take the hands to the bolster. And you might be able to do this without coming up. I'm just going to push the bolster underneath the sacrum. If you need to come up to make that happen, then just roll to your side. Make that happen. Otherwise, take the bolster down now so it's underneath the sacrum. Adjust yourself so you're comfortable. Use your props underneath your head, or a blanket even to cover yourself. Okay. So you might keep the knees bent here and do a little windshield wiper with the knees, side to side. Just imagine you're doing a beautiful hula. And perhaps your hands are resting on your body, and as you let the knees move side to side, the hands slide over this part of the belly you were just opening. Moving in a way that feels good. Okay, and then you can keep moving if you like, or just start to settle. And again, the knees can stay bent. If you want to straighten your legs now, you can do that too. And the arms can stay as they are, or if you like to take them over your head or out to the sides, that's fine too. Here we've changed the lift, and the part of the body we were lifting before is now invited to rest towards the floor. Soften your jaw, your third eye. Melt deeply to the floor. And you might be following the path of your breath. Just feel the connection to the body that's resting on the floor. Imagine that every exhalation is dropping you more deeply towards the earth. The part of you resting on your bolster feels so heavy. Bring the right knee into your chest. And then we'll take the arms up and over. Just kind of draw this in. You can hold onto the knee or behind the thigh. And the left leg can stay straight or you can bend. We're not going to do anything here, but just be in this shape. Melting your jaw, your belly. Softening through the third eye. Notice if you're gripping in the glute at all. And sometimes we need to protect something, some injury or something, so we need that. But you can get even softer through the right outer hip, right glute, right side of your shoulder. We're going to turn the head to the left, and you'll do that at the bottom of your exhalation. And you'll just set the head up in a comfortable way. Again, looking for a little bit of space in front of the throat. Just feeling like you're that little seed that's just been planted. What can you really drop into the earth? As you're ready, friend, you bring your head back and release the right leg. And it might go bent, it might go straight. And just rest in this stillness. Just feel what you've done. What's changed? Just one side, feel a little bit more deeply relaxed. And whenever you're ready, you'll go to the second side. Just change the interlace of your fingers. Be kind. Two sides might be very, very different. So if the right leg is straight, you might be happier a bit. And just kind of play. And if you're not sure, just try both. And be honest, what feels better right now. So that you can just release, drop in, and be as still, as heavy, as aware, as curious as you can be. Just feeling how the breath massages and invites the body to fill and to release. And two, always doing this little dance. Most of the time, we're not even aware it's happening. We're not conscious to it, not awake to it. But here, in this shape, maybe you can feel as you exhale, things release more deeply. The breath is telling the body, everything's okay. You can let go. And then you turn the head to the right at the bottom of your exhale. And you're just being there, noticing what arises when you do that, what shifts, what changes. Keep breathing. And then bringing your head back and releasing. And then just moving into a restful place here. If this isn't restful, you want to come off the bolster, bend your knees, lift your hips, and just push the bolster towards the back of your mat. And then just let the back come down. So we're all going to do that in a moment, but if you want to take your arms over your head and just give a big stretch with the support of the bolster, you can even arch your back, press your sacrum, sit bones into the bolster, and then bend your knees, feet to the floor, and you might even do a few windshield wipers before you come off the bolster if you like. And then when you're ready, just lift your hips, press this bolster away from you so it's between your hips and your heels. And then we're going to drop into Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet together, knees out. Hopefully the bolster is enough for the support. If you're very open, you might even take your feet onto the bolster. And you might push the bolster away from you a little bit. See how you like that. And, if you need blankets or blocks underneath your knees, then take the time, my friend. Do what you got to do. Okay. And then support your head if you need. Just resting here. Just allowing this to kind of be the culmination of this practice. Knowing that your next pose is Shavasana. So here with the knees open and the feet together. We have our socks on, but if we think back to the very beginning of practice when we were just focusing on that space between the hands, to know that that same interaction is happening between the soles of your feet. that there is transfer of energy. And this is inviting your pelvic floor to open, to be breathed into. So just assist with that a little bit if you can by just being very aware of the breath in the lower abdomen. Maybe even opening the low back and the insides of your hips. So thinking of your pelvic bowl as full container. In front of the low belly, the low back, and the two hips. So if it helps to take the hands and maybe rest them down here in the low belly. Feel as you breathe in, this area fill, your hands move. And as you exhale, the body coming back. Bring your full attention and awareness to this bowl. And that every time you inhale and it opens and spreads, you are filling it with breath medicine, awareness medicine, stress release medicine. We hold a lot, we grip a lot here. So if you don't feel a lot of movement with your breath, then you just go, oh, that's interesting. This is a good thing for me to try and practice more often. And I breathe into this area. Fill it with my breath, like a basin, like a cauldron. Notice if you're gripping anywhere too. Do your best to let everything be open, soft, and receptive. You are creating a space for new beginnings. You are releasing old habits, old ways. You are preparing for something new. You have been preparing for this for a long time. Feel that you are that much closer to this time of new beginnings. Just for the next few moments that you're resting in this shape, can you let the breath be so expansive? Fill your cauldron, create a bigger cauldron, and let that release of breath be the healing medicine of release. I'm just doing this a few times, really expanding this area and releasing the breath. And then after you've done maybe 3, 5, let all of that go. And just return to normal breath. You're welcome to keep your legs like this. If you'd like to straighten them out now or move your bolster to a different shape, then go ahead and do that. And if you do want to move to legs up the wall, that's beautiful and lovely. But spend a few moments here just being with this normal breath. To feel perhaps how this breath fills your entire torso. Maybe you feel it move in parts. Just stay with this connection to the flow, the flowing energy of your breath. To how your breath and your body do this dance together. and that this is good medicine. This is healing. And just allow this dance to lull you into a deeper state of softening, of grounding, of letting go. Like you're watching two beautiful ballroom dancers, experts, who've been doing it together for years, dancing together like this for your whole lifetime. And you just get to sit and watch. Feel your body being carried by the breath. At some point, you might find you just drop into the state of Shavasana. And that's lovely. And if you feel like you've been jostled out of your Shavasana, come back to this dance. Resting and resting well. So, notice any place you're still holding tension. The jaw, the upper back, the shoulders, your pelvic floor, your eyes. Just consciously releasing more deeply into your rest. Choosing to stay in your rest for as long as you like. And if you're ready to start to come out, just very lovingly beginning to deepen your breath and find little movements. Just whatever way your body tells you to wake up. Just take your time. Eventually, you'll make your way to your side and you'll rest in the fetal position for anywhere from 3 to 5 breaths, just letting everything come back. Your body wake up. If you're coming to seated, then we'll just come back to seated meditation for a few breaths. So to make yourself comfortable. And just sitting with your hands, however feels good. Maybe bringing the thumb and the index finger pads to touch. Just releasing yourself deeply into the seated pose and feeling into how you are feeling right now at the end of this practice. Just receiving that feeling of deep relaxation, of rest, of calm, of changed energy. And staying as you are as you inhale, and on your exhale, bringing your palms together at your heart. Bowing your chin, just honoring this space and your presence, and you've shown up for your own self-care. And into that, my friends, we'll just release one Om, seal this practice. Inhale. Bow your chin, Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. Take a full breath in, breathe into your hands. Put all your loving, intentional, beautiful energy into that. Good. And then lift your chin and open your eyes. Offer that to yourself. And we'll offer it out. Good. Send it all out. So, love in my heart. May you rest well this evening. Namaste, friends. Namaste.